Tonight's episode of the 31st Lap Podcast is brought to you by DirtTrackDigest.com. If it's on dirt, it's on Dirt Track Digest.
This is the 31st Lap Podcast, recorded live in the studios of FingerLex1.com in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now, your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to episode number 226 of the 31st Lap. Appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with us here on a balmy Thursday. Steve Ovens joining us on the hotline to talk a little bit about some of the action coming up at Woodhull. And I know he's excited to be joining us. Gives him a break from painting the big sign over there at Woodhull. And as I understand it, in the background, it's basically turning into a Calamity Corner with some fireworks. Am I understanding that correctly? You almost fell off a ladder?
Yeah, man, it's wild. It's Thursday night here out at Woodhull. We've got the campground is half full already, and somebody's throwing up some unofficial fireworks to get the weekend started up.
Already some folks piling in there. This weekend is the huge fireworks display, one of the biggest fireworks displays in New York, Pennsylvania. It's only $12 to get in the door. Over there at Woodhull, been plenty of great racing. Tell us about what we can expect this weekend.
Well, this is traditionally one of the biggest weekends of the year here at the track. Now that we've got the Brett Deyo series coming in once a year, we've got two really big events per year, and this of course is one of them. And I think we're the one that with only 2 or 3 Deyo shows in the book so far here at Woodhull, the fireworks show is probably what they're best known for here. It's always been a huge event. They've got $12,000 worth of fireworks coming in on Saturday night, and it's just an electric show. It's always, I can remember coming here as a kid and just being standing room only crowds here, and even now in 2017, not much has changed there, and probably is as popular as the fireworks is people coming up here and making a weekend of it camping. We got free camping here on the ground, so just big weekend. Everybody's getting ready here and getting the place dressed up a little bit.
You said there's already campers pulling in? There's already folks that are starting their weekend?
Oh, absolutely. There's probably 4 or 5 campers that'll stay here during the week in between races, and we're looking at 25, 30 are in the lot already here. Matter of fact, I'm watching one roll in right now. So some folks taking advantage of the later sunset to come and get things unhooked in daylight and get set up for a big weekend. We were just talking to a couple of race fans here that just got the camper set up, and now they're turned around, headed back home to get a truck full of firewood to come back. So should be a lot of fun.
Summer officially started yesterday. It was the longest day of the year, so your sunsets are going to gradually get closer and closer to dinner time again. Unfortunately, we're back on the flip side of that, but still a lot of summer between now and when it gets dark at 4 o'clock. You said that people that they've got campers that just stay on the grounds. They just lock them up on Saturday night or Sunday morning when they leave, and they come back the following weekend and just camp at the racetrack.
Absolutely, yeah. We got a crew of them that kind of camp. As you pull into the grounds here at Woodhull, there's a big pond. Mm-hmm. And right along the outside edge of the pond, facing the general admission gates, there's probably 4 or 5 of them that'll stay there, just kind of as a permanent campsite during the summer. People that drives modified, he's one of the guys. His camper's out there every year. They usually pull it in around the 3rd, 4th show of the year, and their campers here all year round. So
that's pretty cool.
They come here, race on Saturday night, go out to the camper afterwards, have a beer, sit by the bonfire, and then closer down here to the grandstands, as you look at the general admission gates over to the right, there's probably 7 or 8, and then now tonight we've got added a few more. So there's about 10 campers over there of family and officials and things like that here at the track. So it's they not just for fireworks night. They make it a weekend event every week here, and it's really kind of a cool atmosphere. And Jim Williams who Jim and George Williams, that started the track here at Woodhull, they created that environment of family fun. Even the officials, treating each other like family and feeling like when you're here on Saturday nights, you're at home. And, appropriately enough, this is the Jim Williams Memorial this weekend. So, he really created that environment, and it's pretty cool to be a part of that and see that carry forward.
So that's free, though, for those folks that leave their campers there all year long. That's free. There's no point through the course of the year where folks are charged to camp?
Nope, not at all. Free camping all season long. That includes our Bull Ring Challenge weekend. That is our final show of the weekend. There, the final weekend of September. That goes in. I think this year it goes into the 1st of October. If I'm right on that, I don't see the calendar right here close by, but all season long. People can come out here and we've got some fans that travel in for the first time and they bring the Winnebago or tow the camper with them, and for their first trip out, they make a weekend of it. So it's pretty cool.
That date that Stephen was referencing was the 29th and 30th. It starts with a Grit Racing Series qualifier, 800 to win, crate late models, street stocks, and open 4-cylinders, 40 lap, big black, small black, 3,000 to win show following on the 30th of September. Open street stocks, Grit Racing Series crates, and then open 4-cylinders presented by Costly Energy Services. The first night $12, second night $15 to get in. That's a steal right there. And then Saturday's program, it's only $12 to get in for that one even with the huge fireworks, and that's a major investment for a racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a hell of a marketing partner in Instant Heat Wood Pellets. That's all part of the Two Rivers Timber Company down here in Woodhull, Addison area, and Kevin and his folks always have done a great job for us here at the track. Of course, they sponsor a couple of modifieds as well, and so it's we get great support from them. But yeah, that's the thing that we're excited about this weekend. They can come out for $12, come out and see a full, complete show, heats and features, and then the fireworks as soon as it gets dark. So it's good stuff, and for the price of admission, you can't beat it. And for the racers, it's still only $25 to get in the pit. So
jeez,
extra for the racers this weekend either. So we're proud of being able to do that for the racers because their support every week here is what keeps things moving. So.
How was the racing over the weekend? I see the Jacksons were in victory lane again.
Yeah, Stacy had his hands full with Russell Morseman and Kenny Peoples for the first half of the race, and then they had a restart with 7 to go, and that allowed Dylan Groover and Billy Van Pelt to move in, and Jackson was able to pull out and get a pretty good lead there for the final stretch under green. But the race was for second. They were 2 by 2 for the second spot for the last 7 laps. And, guys going high, guys going low, wherever they needed or wanted to put their cars, they could do it. So it was really exciting finish, even though it was for the second spot. But, yeah, Stacy got his second win, and that's big for those guys. They're in a Higfab chassis now. He won that in a raffle from Outlaw last year, and Jerry Higby's got him going good in that car.
There's a ton of action coming up this weekend. We'll get into that in a little bit. And we're right around the corner from the Central New York Speed Week program for the Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints. Beyond where we're at right now for the fireworks with the King of the Ring late models coming up. Is that right? Nope, that was last weekend. My mistake. Jim Williams, the King of the Ring crate late models coming up on the 1st of July. That show seems like that's got some momentum around it too.
Yeah, we had the King of the Ring for the crate late models this past weekend. John Waters won that, and if you can believe it, that's the first time he's won that event.
Really?
As many races as he's won here at Woodhull, he's never won the King of the Ring, so he won that. And then next weekend, July 1st, is our King of the Ring for the crate sportsmen, and with getting 20 to 24 of those cars every week, that's going to be quite an event to pair and do match races all the way down to the final 2. So, the fans will definitely get their money's worth out of that next week.
Folks that don't know it, explain what that King of the Ring program is. I mean, you touched on a little bit there with the match race format.
Yeah, so what it is they pair up in twos, and they run 2-lap match races. They do a draw to see who they're paired up with. And then when they come to the line, they draw out of a bag to see who gets to start on the inside lane versus the outside lane.
Right.
And they run a 2-lap match race. Winner moves on. The loser, after they take the checkered, goes right straight into the pits. And then the winner comes back to the front stretch infield to line up with their next round partner. So we just run it all the way down until we have the final pairing, and then we get the King of the Ring. So something cool we added last weekend was kind of made it fun. We bought a crown and a red silk cape, and so that made for some good photos in Victory Lane.
Right.
That was fun. Just to spice it up a little bit and have some fun. And I mean, the King of the Rings, they do pay out to the winner, at least the winner. And but at the same time, you can make a little fun with it, and give the crews something to jab at their driver about the following week. So John Waters was our first guy to wear the cape and crown.
In terms of what you're doing now, are you still up on that ladder trying to paint and talk on the phone at the same time?
I'm balancing pretty good here. We're working on the second O of Woodhull, and we're cruising right along here. My wife's out here with me. She's doing the checkered flags, and we'll be good here before dark.
You make me nervous, just so you know. Utica Rome had some action this weekend. Finally, they've had weather-related issues. Just Jeff Trombley won the CSRA sprint feature. Good win for him. Rocky Warner won the King of Dirt Sportsman Series feature, but then the rains came through and washed the rest of the program out. Modifieds and Kings of Dirt Pro Stock feature were both taken off the card. Modified feature is going to be made up this weekend, setting up a doubleheader there, and then the King of Dirt Pro Stock event is going to be made up a little bit later on in the season. Weather also affecting a couple other tracks in the area. Unfortunately, Weedsport's Big Block, Small Block Challenge event was a washout. There was lightning strikes in the area, more heavy rains in addition to the showers that passed through about 5:30. Forced that one off the deck. That is the fourth time Weedsport has had a weather-related cancellation. Tough break. I mean, they've been fighting uphill like crazy. Coming up on this weekend, Weedsport's going to bring in the ESS and the URC Ultimate Willingness Shootout. It's going to be fun to watch. $5,000 to win. Going to be drivers from around the sprint car world, including Chuck Hebing, World of Outlaws winner Lucas Wolf, and USAC rookie contender Coleman Gulick. The Sportsman Shootout Series is going to try to start their season on the 25th as well. You can jump on weedsport.com for additional details. Spencer, they lost their program on Friday. Kids Club, they're doing a coloring contest over there at Spencer, so not everything was completely washed out over there at Spencer. And the Oswego Speedway Small Block Super Modifieds are going to be competing at Spencer this Friday. Kind of cool. And they're also introducing some new electronic scoring systems over there. The New York Super Stocks have been added to that program, along with the Sunoco Modified Super 6s and 4-cylinders. Race time is still 7 o'clock, so they're going to be busy over there at Spencer and Williamson coming up tomorrow night. Ryan Bartlett came away with his second career win over at the Burchin Speedway. His last one came in July 2016, so he's right on pace if he wants to keep that streak alive year to year. Now seems like a pretty good time that worked out for him. He built a big win and ended up winning by over 2.25 seconds at the stripe. Todd Root, Casey Sykes, and Chris Bonofsky winning in the other divisions. Root winning Sportsman, Sykes and Mod Lights, and Bonofsky in the 4-cylinders. At Outlaw, Scott Kruder won the Averdi Patriot Sprint Tour feature on Jeff Searles Memorial Night. It's always a popular night over there. 2 slowdowns early, bunched them, but after that, the final 20 laps ran green to checkered, and Kruder ended up with a straightaway lead over Coleman Gulick, Steve Collins, Robbie Stillwagon, and John Preston. Matt Shepard got up to third on a lap 8 restart and then set sail for the leaders. He ended up winning in the modifieds again, if you can believe it or not believe it. He also picked up a win in the, now I lost my train of thought there. Billy Decker won the modified Super Dirt Series race there on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was quite a race between those two over the last 5.
They were battling it out. Shepard looked like he had a shot at it, but Decker ended up coming away with the win in that one. Shepard winning Friday night over at Outlaw over Groover, Ted Gian, Corey Costa, and Eldon Payne Jr. Tom Collins won the 25-lap Sportsman feature. Brian Knowles won the page jumped on me on the Crate Late Model feature. A late yellow set up a 3-lap dash in the IMCA feature. Brad Smith held off Rich Michael to win that one. Glenn Wertenauer took the lead on lap 13 in the street stock feature, handily winning over Kurt Stebbins. Chuck Winslow got third. Ray Heyer won again in the four-cylinder division. We talked to him a couple weeks ago. That was a rebound after an early jingle. He was caught up, and Mark Minutolo led all 10 laps of the hobby stock main. And Cole Yaus earned the youth win. Attrition took out early leader Brandon Buchanan, and then also Jordan Bacon. Outlaws open again for that Super Dirt Car Series race that Billy Decker won Saturday. Matt Shepard lapped up to like fourth. He was so fast Saturday night, just checked out on everybody. Alan Johnson was second. Justin Hare, Steve Payne, Justin Wright in the top five. Nick Carreri coming with the win in the Sportsman feature. Carl Comfort and Kane Bristol earning top fives in that one. Lee Sanders won the 305 Sprint main. Jason Whipple and Dan Crown were behind him. Adam DePay won the Street Stock feature over Bob Buono. At Fulton, Larry White got the win there. That's his second there. And he was putting the car wherever he had to. He was on rails, just checked out from everybody. Needed 6 laps after he finally got to the lead to get past Pat Ward. Pat Ward chased him down. It's his third win overall at Fulton, second in a row. Glenn Ford and Ron Davis, the third, won Sportsman races. Jason Parkhurst won the late models. Tyler Rogers and John Strickler won the Sportsman, novice Sportsman features. Bonofsky picked up a second win of the weekend, winning in the 4-cylinders. The track is closed this weekend in lieu of commencement ceremonies. Tough break for Neil Williams. I don't know if you're following this, Stephen, but he got whacked a little bit for some illegal tire treatments after tire samples were taken in Bridgeport. Dirt Car levied a penalty regarding Neil's tire samples under provision 11.1J. Any member that attempts and or is found to be using tires that are found to be illegal in any manner will be subject to disqualification and or fine and or suspension and or loss of points and or any other action deemed appropriate by Super Dirt Car Series and or Dirt Car officials and or World Racing Supervisory officials. It's a mouthful. Basically, the long story short is don't mess with your tires. It appeared that he did. It was found that the samples that were sent to an independent testing lab, of course it was independent because it wouldn't be right, and the results showed that the tires had been altered and didn't conform to quote-unquote benchmarks provided by the Hoosier Tire Company. So Williams is now suspended from all dirt car sanctioned events until July 6, 2017. He loses points and money earned May 16th at Bridgeport, fined a total of $3,950, and he's going to be on probation through the end of December. So that was a challenge. Oswego Speedway going to be open Saturday as well. This is their Grand Prix night. This is a big night for them. It's always interesting to watch. That's coming up on July the 1st. They're going to have fireworks at that track. They're closed this weekend in lieu of graduation. Novella Super Modified Grand Prix is 75 laps. The Stub Mall blocks go 35. Gates open at 4:30. Racing at 6:45. And admission is only $17. Jump online at OswegoSpeedway.com for additional details on that. You're going to get a chance to get out and check any of these other tracks out. I know you guys have been very, very busy between all of the racing that you've been doing between Woodhull and staying busy with the RC tour. You're going to get a chance to see any tracks open anyplace else?
Well, we did go, my wife and I went over to Outlaw on Friday. She's a big sprint car fan, and so we got to see the butt whipping that Cruder put on the there was nobody was in his area code there Friday. So we got over there, and we've just kind of scaled back and chilling on Friday nights. So that after a season of doing back-to-back Friday, Saturday night tracks, it's been kind of nice to kind of scale back a little bit. And so we don't probably get out to as many races as I used to, but trying to fill the gap with those RC races, man, that's a good time. Anybody that's listening tonight, I'm telling you, between the big car dirt track racing here, the investment is nothing compared to these big cars. And frankly, Chris, I think, and my dad and brother have always said the same thing. We feel like we're having more fun with these little cars, these little toy cars. We always refer to them as we did racing the big cars. It's just a good time with friends, and we've made a lot of friends that we otherwise probably wouldn't have met some of these people. So
it is crazy,
and it's been a good time.
Stephen Evans is now the points leader in the sub-series part of the Northeast Mud Boss Tour over at Radio Hill Raceway in Dundee, which is sort of interesting that you're now leading the points in at a racetrack in Dundee after you spend so much time working and racing at tracks in Dundee with full-size cars.
Yeah, that's we're talking for before you went live tonight. I mean, I wouldn't have expected that would be the track that we'd be leading the sub-series at, but we've hit on a good setup. It's funny. It's hard to not say it and not want to laugh because you talk about these RC cars and hitting on the right setup and being on a good run and momentum and all that stuff, and it's like we're talking about grown men racing toy cars here, but
yes.
We really have. We've hit on a setup that just really fits Stu's and Brad's and my style of driving the cars, and we've stuck to it. There's been times that in between qualifying rounds that you want to go out and practice and try something, and every time one of us gets an idea that we want to go try, the other one slaps us upside the head and says, leave the car sitting right where it is. It's fine. So, we just hit on something that's working well for us, and you try and take that and use it at some of these other tracks that we get to travel to now on the series, and I think it'll make it interesting, Chris, because we're coming up on some tracks that a lot of the guys that follow the tour don't race at or have never raced at.
Right.
So we're going to start hitting a real interesting part of the schedule.
Yeah, July the 1st, everybody's going to be at Stoneborough for the first time, Big Dog RC. After that, we go to R&L Speedway in Ransomville, and then it's part of a doubleheader with Bub's Backyard the very next day. So that's also up there in Ransomville. So a couple new tracks. That's 4 events. We've only had 4 events thus far, so that's gonna double our race count in a matter of about 10 days. And I think it's gonna shuffle the standings a little bit. As for this weekend, running down at Radio Hill, as humid and hot as it was a lot of fun to watch everybody chasing setups because the track was so wet in the heats, and then it came in nice in the feature, but it was so fast. The track was so tacky and grippy. You could run any one of 3 grooves around that track, but you had to hit your marks perfect because the track was actually coming apart. It was so grippy in the turns.
Yeah, we went and did a test session there a week and a half ago or so, trying to see how far we could stretch a battery to see if we could make it the whole race. And we did make it the whole race, but then when we got there Sunday, we realized that, the track was so much faster than it was when we did our test session that we kind of had to throw those notes right out of the window and, do some other things. And unfortunately, driver made a call that he should have let the crew chief make, and no, we paid for that. But it's really fun that there's, even though these cars are stock and there's not a lot of performance parts you can put on them, there's still enough adjustability, whether it's suspension or gearing, that you can do something different to try and find the hot setup that particular day or night. So
a lot of fun watching Sean Canfield. He wasn't there over the weekend, but Sean Canfield drives the traction grabber number 27J, and often at Small Addictions, he'll be able to carry the left front wheel just about the whole way around the track, and that's with a stock car.
Yeah, he's the perfect example. I mean, if you put his setup on my car, I'd be out to lunch, and if he ran mine, he'd say, "Man, this ain't fast enough." So, it's a lot of fun, a lot of fun, and I highly recommend, if anybody hasn't been out, to check it out in Auburn or Dundee, to just come out and watch an event and see all that these guys put into it. I think it'll really raise a lot of eyebrows.
Let's turn our attention back to the schedule for a few minutes here before we cap it. Patriot Sprint Tour coming into town on the 22nd of July. Christmas in July coming up on the 8th. The Jake Davis Memorial coming up on the 15th for the modifieds. The 270 Micro Sprint Reunion coming up in August. We've got the Back to School Special, the huge tractor pull that's always going on down there through the end of the year. You guys are going to be busy. We can't forget the Lyle Sherwood Memorial for $1,700 coming up on the 9th of September. There's a ton of racing still to get through.
Yeah, absolutely. And, there's a lot of special events coming up, and our point races are starting to take shape, and it won't be much longer, and we won't have to talk about the handicap anymore. So I sit here and say that the promoter shakes his head. We've had an interesting reaction to the handicap. It's been fun for me because I'm kind of a numbers guy and a little bit of a dork on that stuff. So I enjoy it. I like seeing how it plays out, but these guys are used to running what they run. So we're.
So again, just a recap coming up on the 24th, Jim Williams Memorial. Fireworks plus a complete show. On the 1st of July is the King of the Ring for the Crate Sportsman Christmas in July bicycle giveaway. $750 to win 50-lap street stocks plus a complete show. A street stock Clash for Cash is also on deck on that one. Again, that's part of July 8th program. The Jake Davis Memorial is the July 15th event, and that includes the King of the Ring for the Modifieds. On the topic of the King of the Rings real quick, those pairings that are raced off, does that count as their feature, or is that run in conjunction with their feature program?
No, that's just a special event. We kind of run it almost as like a dash for cash type of thing.
I was going to say, that could make for an interesting feature points payout.
Yeah, yep. that it would. That it would, because, I mean, you take Saturday night with the late models, and Jeremy Wonderling came out and raced with us on Saturday, and everybody in fantasy was picking Jeremy Wonderling, and he was out in the first round.
Wow.
Nobody would have guessed. That. So,
did he get bit by lane choice?
I think, he was on the outside. I think he probably would have preferred the inside lane, but when you do the chip draw there in the infield, you don't know what lane you're going to line up in, and he just got up against a guy that's been racing here every week this season. So that guy had some good notes, and so
July the 22nd. July 22nd, Patriot Sprint Tour comes to town, and then July 29th, the racing takes a break for that huge Lucas Oil pulling program that you guys have, and that's gone over huge for as long as I can remember.
Oh yeah, that's a big event here. The racers get a week off there, and we've got some great folks that help sponsor that event. And I mean, if you've ever been out here to Woodhull, you'll know that the tractor pull, the truck pull, that's going to be a real popular event here. And they've got this year something that we've added. They're going to have semis this year too.
I saw that on the schedule. The outlaw semis, no less, and then they got the pickup trucks as well. It's going to be a good one on July 29th. August 5th, free Veterans and Armed Forces Night, plus the Power Wheels going to be racing 270 Micro Sprint reunion on August the 12th, plus a complete show, and that's a rain date for the fireworks in case something happens, but right now it looks like the weather should be just fine for that. August the 22nd, the Short Track Super Series, running 53 laps for the big blocks and the small blocks, 5,300 to win. And that one, Grit Racing Series, 1,000 to win there, mini stocks, 500 to win. Scouting Night, Legends of Woodhull reunion, and the complete show with the Crate Late Model and Crate Sportsman Dash, Street Stock Dash, also on the schedule for August the 26th. And then the Season Championship complete show, Driver Appreciation Pig Roast in the pits, September 10th and 17th. Gates open at 3:30, racing's at 5:30. Just a note for everybody to keep in mind on those. September 9th is Lyle Sherwood Memorial with 1,700 to win. Crate Late Models, Crate Modified, Crate Modifieds or Crate Sportsman that's supposed to be?
I'm sorry?
The Lyle Sherwood Memorial says Crate Late Models and then Crate Modifieds.
Yeah, that's a big event here during the year. It's one of those events that it's not the biggest paying feature of the season, but it falls on that list of races that guys want to win because of being the Lyle Sherwood Memorial.
Right.
Lyle Sherwood was Woodhull Raceway, and losing him tragically the way that we did, it's when a guy like Billy Van Pelt, who's won everything at Woodhull over the course of his career, when he can stand in victory lane and say, this one means more than any of them this season, and then that's from a guy that's won a championship or two as well.
Right.
When that shows you, how much it means to win a big race like that. And Lyle Sherwood is one of those races, 1,700 to win for the mods, and it's nice that that's in the fall because we can pick up some guys that want to come and run a special show and not have to worry about handicap or points or anything like that. It's all about wanting to win that race.
going fast. Open Street Stocks, Minis, front wheel drives, the Warriors all there as well. The New York State Horse Pulling Association Horse Pull is on the 16th, and then the Fight Night Street Stocks 100 Lapper is scheduled on the 23rd of September. 29th, Grit Racing Series qualifier, and the 40 lap big block, small block shootout. Open Street Stocks and Grit Racing Series crate race is the 29th and 30th. The awards banquet scheduled for December 2nd. You guys got a good schedule there, and a lot of action still to come over there at Woodhull. Dressing the place up, getting ready for the fireworks this weekend. Steve, man, what else we got to hit on?
Man, we covered a lot of it. I appreciate the time coming on tonight and talking about what we got going down here in the Southern Tier, and having outlets like yours on 31st Lap is really important, and we really appreciate the time to come on tonight.
Is Turn 5 coming back soon?
Not sure about that. We have kind of taken a little hiatus here, and we're, I think everybody's enjoying the free time.
I believe it. I believe it. Well, I appreciate it. How's Race Chaser going?
Good. Like I said, I've kind of scaled back on some of my efforts, and writing has been one of them, and 5 was one of them, but I've really kind of repurposed that time and focused a lot more on efforts here at Woodhull, and being able to come out here on a Thursday night and painting signs and stuff like that is all part of that. So, but it's good. It's fun.
Well, I'm sure they appreciate it. You do a good job at what you do. Keep it up, and wish you best of luck this weekend. Hope you pack those stands.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. WoodhullRaceway.com and Facebook.com/Woodhull Raceway if anybody wants the info.
There it is. You can find it all on there. Steven, man, appreciate it.
Yep. Appreciate it, Chris.
You bet.
A couple weeks.
See you later. There goes Steven Ovens, frantically painting signs over there at Woodhull, trying to get ready for this weekend's huge fireworks show. I think that's going to do it for us. We are going to have no programming for 31st Lap this week or next week. It's going to be preempted by a final round coming up. Next week we're out of town, and then that first week of July, final round is going to take that spot. I believe they're planning a live show from Empire Dragway in conjunction with a live show from Empire Dragway during one of the racing programs on the 8th of July. You have to tune in on Thursday to find that out for certain. I believe that's going to be July the 6th, and also Crash Course is going to be off the air as well in lieu of me being out of town. So we're not going to have any of the programs that typically I host. We appreciate everybody tuning in and hanging out with us for a little while, but that is going to do it for this one. 226 in the books. That's going to do it. Appreciate Steven Ovens coming on and hanging out with us for a little while. Appreciate all you guys listening. That's going to do it for this edition of the 31st Lap. See you in a couple weeks.